think it would be fair to say that Prodigy at the Brixton Academy was a kind of defining moment, I suppose, in terms of really solidifying my adoration for electronic music. And I grew up in North London, and I guess that had a massive influence on me, because London in the 1990s, if one was into electronic music, then it was paradise, right? The massive drum and bass parties that were still seen as kind of underground, the pirate radio stations before the age of digital, where you could hear this music broadcast illegally on FM radio. You know, that was all bubbling on all around me, and I ended up kind of being in the middle of it. And I met certain people and became connected to promoters and DJs. Even at a young age of like 17, I was putting on parties, right? Like, I got into the techno scene, I got into the electronic music scene, and then I was like, yeah, I've got friends who are DJs, we can do this. So then I started renting out small bars. I wasn't even legally allowed to enter into these venues, and I was actually putting parties on in them. And that's how much things have changed, right? Now in the UK, everything is so regulated. You know, there's so many rules, and you know, you would never have a 17-year-old being able to put on parties in respectable venues. You know, they would be asking too many questions. But back then it was like, oh look, hey, look, here's a kid who's got lots of friends who want to party. Sure, we'll let them do their thing. I went to music college and learned how to program drum machines and how to program synthesizers and how to do multi-track recording and how to build synthesizers. It was just when the software revolution was happening, so I then also learned how to program music in the box just using a computer. Then I graduated from my music production course in 2008, and I started my record label, City Wall Records, and I still very much took a back seat from the public image and just focused on producing a lot of music. This is And Me, The Rapture Part 2. I do a weekly show which is an hour, and that's kind of a little bit more down tempo or not just banging techno. And then I do a 2-hour monthly show which is about new music, where I share a lot of new releases from other artists and some of my own releases. And I suppose some of it's dance, some of it's just I suppose a bit like a conductor with an orchestra. I've thought about this a lot. So, you know, if you listen to classical music, or if you go and see an orchestra play, there'll be a conductor, and it's the job of the conductor to infuse feeling and direction to the musicians. So, you know, the musicians all know the notes that they have to play, but in terms of how much energy they put into playing those instruments and what dynamic they put into playing those instruments, it's the job of the conductor to control that energy. And I feel like that is a bit how it works being a DJ, right? It's you know, any DJ can play the same track, any DJ can press play and keep all the EQ the same, and the track will play. Now, how that energy is conveyed, in this case to the listener, or if it's in a club to the people dancing, that's the job of the DJ, right? To infuse that energy to others. I think it's fair to say that I believe in God, and I believe I have an intimate relationship with God. So that's, I think that's something that's very important. God has spoken to me ever since I was I do find meditation very helpful, but I also am very much into journaling, and I'm not scared to kind of write down voices that I hear and feelings that I have, and I've very much learned to ignore a lot of modern thinking about mental health, which I think some of which can be unhealthy because of the way it's interpreted. When people listen to my music, they will naturally feel years of prayer and meditation and contemplation infused into the sound, because that's who I am. So why did I want to be them? Surely I want to be me. There's only one me. And so that took a very long time to disconnect from all of those feelings and to really sit with me. And that's, I think, what you'll find in the Dark album is Ross Harper. Well, you know what I'm going to say here. The cow is contemplating about whether we're really free or slaves of our own conscience. And actually, I've thought about this a lot, right? The Dark album is a reflection of all of the feelings that those images that I have stir up in me, okay, but that have been repressed. Is those feelings that have been pushed down, but they're being expressed in the Dark album. So if anyone's interested, they can look into my albums, and there's the Ambient Girl, there's the Tower of Light, now there's the Dark album, there's more to come, but yes, the albums reflect something much bigger than I'm just going to write some music to make people dance. They're more than that. They're a reflection of something deeper. So yeah, I hope there'll be a blessing to whoever tunes into them, and I hope that I'll be able to see you at a party soon to shout and scream with me and dance to some of the harder techno remixes, or some of the beautiful deep house remixes that are coming. And yeah, okay, all right. So signing out, thank you. I feel nervous before I press record or before I go out in front of the crowd. I still get butterflies in my stomach.